guys, this is Dee. As I said earlier, I was going to make another video today, and I wanted to because this one's been on my mind for a little bit. A few things have happened, I guess, recently that have sparked the idea for me. This is going to be really chill and relaxing. Like I told you guys, I had a surgery, a small thing on Friday, and I'm not back to myself. I was feeling better on Saturday, but I just feel like I'm not good. I'm living on like smoothies and Ensure, thanks to a friend of mine who brought me a ton of Ensure. But the smoothie I wanted to show you guys because it reminded me I need to reorder it. This stuff is the very best. It's called this Veg Essential All-in-One, and I get the natural berry flavor, and it's like all the vegetables you need in a day. I scoop it in, and then I just throw in whatever like frozen fruit is on sale at No Frills or whatever, and blend it up, and it makes amazing smoothies. And usually I try to throw in a banana, but I didn't tonight, I forgot. But anyways, this stuff really adds like good nutrients to your smoothies. But anyways, that's completely off topic and irrelevant. I just put it on my desk so I remember to reorder it. But so the video was originally going to be just kind of like advice from an older gal for younger women. But as I was thinking about it, you know, it's probably helpful for younger guys too, and not necessarily just for girls. Some of it will be just for girls, but not all of it. So I'm just gonna not waste much time, and I'm gonna get into it. I know it's late. I'm getting a bit tired. The makeup's wearing off. I put on some lip gloss for this, but I know my freckles are starting to stick through, so I know the makeup's getting low. That's how I know. Sorry. I have to keep going or I won't eat it. This is basic. There's only a few points I wanted to make. First of all, the most important piece of advice I wanted to give you from an older woman to younger women and to younger men as well is, in your life, don't be nervous to set boundaries with people, with employers, employees, co-workers, friends, family, everybody. Dating, setting boundaries. I've learned, I just recently started dating. I didn't date for years and years because my kids, at the time, I didn't think it was the best thing to do while my kids were young. Looking back now, I don't think that was necessarily the truth, because they might have benefited from me finding a partner, and life might have been a bit easier if I had a partner, because now they've gone through their whole young life with just one income, just a mom. My son hasn't had a dad around, so I'm sure that's impacted him in ways that aren't the best. So I kind of regret that a little bit, but I always did the best I could with what I thought. I always thought I was making the best decisions. But anyways, recently I've started dating in the last year or two, and I found I've met a lot of great guys, but they're not necessarily looking for the same thing. I'm looking for a relationship, something committed, something long-term. And at first I found it really difficult to not hurt someone's feelings, but to say, I don't want what you want. But I've learned enough to be able to set that boundary and to say, you know, you're wonderful. And this is usually my line. This is what I say. I say, you're absolutely wonderful. I think you're wonderful. You're really good looking. I find you attractive. You're a sweet guy. You're a good person. But I feel like at this time in my life, I'm ready for something a little more serious. And that gets the message across. And that isn't saying I'm not interested in you. That's leaving it in their hands, allowing them the opportunity to think about it and think about if that's something they want. Or if it's not something they want, then they know that we're not on the same page, even if they like me a lot, but we're looking for different things. And no matter how much fun we have laughing together or a good conversation, that it still might not be a good fit. So that's how I've met. Like I've mentioned before on my channel, I go on dates and I have a lot of great friends, but I've never met a partner. I've never met someone that ended up being a boyfriend, because I never ended up with someone who wanted the same thing as me. But I've met amazing people, right? So I haven't lost touch with them. I've stayed in touch and we've stayed friends, and it's been great. The other advice I want to give, and this one's for girls, is it's really easy as a young woman to make friends with guys. It's not so easy to make friends with girls, because girls are cliquey and judgy. And I made that mistake. I have lots of guy friends. I made a lot of guy friends, and some of my best friends in my lifetime have been guys. But the problem is, and what has happened to me in my life, is as they've partnered off and found mates in their life, it's not so appropriate anymore for them to have a best friend that's a girl. So I have lost people that I really loved, that have been really close, good friends to me, and have been really my backbone and my support through the hardest times in my life, because naturally they've partnered off and found women that they want to spend their life with. And then it's not appropriate to have a best friend who is a girl, because their new best friend is their partner, which is how it should be, right? So that's been hard. So go out of your way, make an effort to find some women, get a good little group, get a circle, even if it's just a small one or two, and make friends with them. Make sure you have that, because girlfriends you won't lose when they partner off, whereas guy friends, they're gone. Like, as soon as they find something serious, they're gone. And that's hurt a lot in my life. But it's the way it should be. I should have put it more effort in staying in touch with the girlfriends that I did have. I've had a few good girlfriends in my life too, but we grew apart, right? And I should have worked harder to maintain those relationships had I known how important it would be and how it would turn out. I didn't foresee how it would be as we got older and people started pairing off, that these friendships there wouldn't be room for them in people's lives anymore. The other thing is to learn to be able to say no to people, to say no. I found that so hard in my life to say no to, in multiple situations, like even with work. Can you do a late? Can you stay another shift? Can you do this, pick up extra work, this and that? And sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But I always found myself saying yes, because I didn't want to be disappointing to the other person, or I didn't want to put them in a more difficult situation. I wanted to help out as best I could, even at my own expense. And I've learned that even if it isn't detrimental, when it is at my own expense, that might not seem so awful in this one circumstance, but it builds up, it adds up, and eventually you wear down and you end up exhausted and fatigued and stressed out and not so much able to maybe even manage your own stuff that you need to be doing, because you're doing so much extra stuff, and you might miss things that are going on in your life that are important, that are transitions and changes and opportunities, because you're so busy running around trying to please everybody. That was a big one. Another one is, don't feel pressured when you're young to pair off and have kids. Life is a lot longer than it feels like it's going to be when you're in your 20s, when you're young, and you see everybody else pairing off and getting married and having kids, and you might feel the pressure, like, why isn't it happening for me? And I mean, like, it's hard for me. I'm older now. I'm 43 and I'm single, and it sucks, right? But it doesn't always suck. There's good things about it, but there's hard things about it too. It would be nice to have someone at the end of the day just to say, hey, we're going to be okay. Not just me convincing myself saying I'm going to be okay. You know what I mean? Like, that would be really nice. But I don't have that, unfortunately. But there's other things that I do have. So, I mean, there's good and bad in everything. But just because you don't do it right away in your early 20s doesn't mean it's not going to happen for you. Put yourself out there and stay connected and stay social, and don't make your career your whole life. Really value all aspects of your life. Your love life, your friends, your family, your career. Always constantly educate yourself. Like, keep learning, because there's never any loss to learning. You can't learn enough about everything, different people, faiths, religions, cultures, like subjects, academics, anything that interests you, learn about it, because it's only going to help you, and it'll help you relate to people more in this world. And I think that's what it's all about, is how we relate to everybody in the world and relate to the world around us, right? There's another one. You have kids. When they're a little older, age appropriate. When it's age appropriate, talk to them about everything. And don't be afraid to talk to your kids about things that make you uncomfortable to talk about. Because when they see that, I'm not a social psychologist. I'm not a parent psychologist. I don't know everything, but it has worked with mine. And mine are older, and they're wonderful. That we've gone through hard times, we've gone through really difficult challenges, but we've gotten through them, and they've both grown up, and they're like out the other side of it. They're amazing. They're amazing kids, and they're 20 and 22, and they're wonderful now. But we're also very open. We talk about everything, but we started from a young age when it was age appropriate, and there was no off limits topics. Everything is on the table always. And I feel like when they see that you're willing to talk about things that are uncomfortable for you, either emotionally or even privately or whatever, then those things they'll be more comfortable talking to you about too, things that are uncomfortable for them. And that's the goal. That's where you want to be. You want them to come to you, because they will go to their friends, they will go to the internet, and they will go everywhere else to get answers to their questions and their worries. And you want your voice and your opinion and your take on it to be part of their decision-making process. You want them to hear your side of the story and to have your angle on it. And if they don't see you comfortable sharing with them in that way, they might not be so comfortable sharing with you in that way. That's a huge one, because that got us through a lot. My kids have shocked the hell out of me with some of the things they've come to me with. And at the end of the day, I'd be shocked, and then I'd lay in bed and I'd be like, God damn, I'm lucky. Like, I'm so blessed that my kids just came to me and talked to me about that. Like, imagine they didn't. Who else would they be talking to? Or what would be going through their head tonight if we hadn't had that conversation? And I'm so grateful that I always kept those doors open, and we were always able to talk, and it still goes on, and I hope it continues throughout our whole lives. I hope obviously they'll partner off and find partners and get married and stuff like that, and I might not have the best advice in that for them because I've never been in that situation, but I'll certainly be able to give them my take on it and point them in the right direction with regards to finding information and resources and stuff like that. So, and you can also teach your kids to have heart, you know, like you can teach them things that the world necessarily doesn't always teach them, that it's not always about what's good and bad or allowed or not allowed, but sometimes it's about what's right and what's wrong. And that's, I think, the biggest thing I've been able to impress upon my kids, the difference between, like, there's legal and illegal, and then there's right and there's wrong, and there's good and there's bad. And I've been able to really impress upon them about doing what's right. Always do what you think is the right thing to do. Even if it's at your own expense, you do the right thing. And I've had those opportunities because they've come to me with situations and they've talked to me about it. And had they not, I might not have been able to give them that gift and give them that insight and that frame of mind that they have and they carry now. And they do a lot of great things for people. And as young people, sometimes they blow me away, the kind of things they do for people. And they do it because they think it's the right thing to do. So I'm really proud of them. And I think it's come from that we've always had that open conversation. So that's all. I just wanted to talk about that. It was, there's other things, of course, like there's girl stuff like moisturize every day, because as you get older, it pays off, believe it or not. Keep stretching, because like last year I could do backflips and this year it hurt. So I could do it still, but it hurt because I didn't stretch so much last year. But just stay in shape, stay healthy, keep your body stretching out and stay healthy and as fit as you can, and just be mindful of yourself and take care of yourself, because you can't care for other people if you don't care for yourself first, right? Like, you got to put your own mask on first. Other than that, that's it. Just I wanted to share those things with you. It's been on my mind for a few days, and I really did. Those are some important things, especially around the friend groups and making sure you have support systems that'll carry you throughout your lifetime and stick with you and not disappear when life situations change, because that's been a hard one for me. That's been tough, especially predominantly having guy friends. So yeah, and yeah, and that's all. So that's all I wanted to say tonight. Just a quick video, but I'm not going to drag it out. I'm pretty tired. I'm going to try and get some sleep. It's good medicine, and feeling, like I told you, I'm feeling a little more rough tonight, but it'll be okay. I'm getting better, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. And don't forget, I'm still in the Fab 40 contest. It's going on until the first round, October 20th. And you can cast a free vote every day. So if you feel so inclined, hit up my page. And I think it's on my YouTube and my Instagram. It's on my Facebook. And cast a free vote if you have the time or if you remember to do that. It's kind of cool. Anyway, thanks so much, guys. And I will see you all again soon. Have a lovely evening. Bye. Hey guys, I'm back, but just for a quick second. There's one more thing that was very important that I forgot to add to that video, and it's super duper important. I have spent a lot of my life trying to be nice, to make friends, to grow relationships with people who have treated me like garbage. Whether it could be anybody. Don't do this in your life. If somebody says, even if you love someone, doesn't matter how much you love them or care about them, if they treat you like garbage, it's not worth your time because they don't love you back. And if they tell you they love you, then they wouldn't treat you like garbage. They wouldn't talk to you like garbage. They wouldn't treat you like you're the least important thing in their life. This could be girls, it could be guys, it could be anybody. It could be family, friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, anybody, colleagues, employers. If somebody cares about you, you'll know it. And if they don't care about you, you'll know it. And no matter how hard you try, you can't make somebody care about you. And the other thing, this is the last tip, and this is amusing, but I swear to God, I watch this once a year, and it's always helped me. There's this movie, it's awesome. It's called He's Not That Into You. It's a great movie for us gals to watch because it's a good reminder of what that looks like when he's just not that into you. So, but that's specifically when it comes to dating and guys. I'm talking overall. For that's important for dating, but overall in general, I've invested a lot of time trying to build relationships and make them grow and to gain the affections or the caring or the friendship of certain people, and they just didn't care, and they don't like me, and that's fine. Not everyone has to like everybody, but it's useless. It's a waste of time, and it's draining physically, emotionally, intellectually. It's exhausting, and it's hurtful, and you don't need a constant hurt in your life. You don't need it. It's not worth it. So just don't do it. Move on to the people who value you and love you and appreciate you for what you are and treat you well back when you treat them well, because they're the ones that count and they're the ones that are most important. And with that, now I will say goodnight. Have a good night, guys.